I don't remember any of this, but I was apparently just driving around with friends for the evening, just doing what any normal Mount Gambier boy at the age of 18 would be doing, and disaster struck at some point that night, and we got T-boned at somewhere between 100 and 110 kilometers per hour. I sustained from the head down a bleed on the brain in the hypothalamus, a fracture of my C2, C3 neck, a rupture of my inferior vena cava, which is the major blood vessel back to the heart, a rupture of my liver, a collapse of my right lung, damage to my right kidney, ruptured my urethra so hard that it severed off my bladder, and I discovered at that time what a catheter was, much to my discomfort for the next probably 6 months. I had an open book fracture of my pelvis. I broke my femur, which apparently, according to the medicos, is more difficult to do and it's harder than the enamel in your teeth. So quite the impact, and especially when given the last of my most significant and life-threatening injuries, where I had both bones of my right leg sticking out at the time of the accident. The 3 boys who unfortunately lost their lives were Tim Smith, or Smitty as he was known around town, Ben Huri, and Nathan Hennis, or Chuka. This particular night was no different to any other. Some other people have told me what I've been doing and filled in my memory gaps. I had finished work, and so Chuka followed me home and said, "Hey, we're just cruising around, do you want to hang out?" He got a phone call from Smitty to say, "I'm out of town at a party. I'd love a lift home if you know of anyone who's driving around and is okay with that." And Chuka, being the sort of guy who would, well, if you needed a kidney and you just asked him, pretty much, he would have given it to you. So we drove out of town, attended the party just briefly, picked up Smitty, and shortly after that was when disaster struck at some time in about 2:30 in the morning. But I hold absolutely no ill will towards the other driver, or Chuka even for that matter. The police, the Major Crash Investigation Police, commented that the timing of us being there at that exact moment, they couldn't recreate it. It was quite literally just wrong place, wrong time. And all they can really attribute it to is driver inexperience. I ended up using the service really critically when I needed it, and then I ended up using it another 9 times after that, but I was completely unaware that they service major, regional centres like Mount Gambier, Whyalla, Port Augusta, when it's a situation of life or death and time is of the essence.